Hello, welcome everyone to this interactive webinar on the Research Master in Psychopathology. My name is Isabel Krosch. I work at the Faculty of Psychology and Neuroscience here at Maastricht University, and I'm happy to host you through this webinar today. We're going to talk about several topics that all cover the Research Master in Psychopathology. So you could think about the program contents, career perspectives of our graduates, internship opportunities, and we also touch upon the topic of the application procedure and admission requirements. The good thing at such an interactive webinar is that you can also decide on the content. You can post your questions in the comment section below this Facebook stream, and we will pick them up during the webinar and try to answer them as good as we can. As you can see here, I am not alone today. I have invited two experts from the Research Master, and I would like to ask them to introduce themselves. Anna.
My name is Anna Roefs. I'm a professor of psychology and neuroscience of abnormal eating, and I'm the coordinator of the Research Master track Psychopathology.
Yes, and I'm Pauline. I'm a first-year psychopathology student.
Welcome. To start with the first question, it's an introduction to the program. Maybe Anna can explain what was the overall idea behind starting that program.
The idea behind starting this track, Psychopathology, is that there was no program yet that was a good combination of both research and clinical practice. Although our overall goal remains research, this program also prepares you well for a career in the clinic.
Thanks. Well, we all know the field of psychology and neuroscience is a really broad one, covering several topics. What are the specifics about psychopathology?
Yeah, in our program, of course, we cover all kinds of psychopathology, like depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, eating disorder, schizophrenia. But because it's a research master, we also teach you a lot about statistics, writing skills, neuroanatomy, functional neuroimaging. And because we want to prepare you for a clinical career as well, we also have 4 times in our curriculum clinical skills, and if you want, you can extend it even with a clinical internship.
Mm-hmm. You already told us that there are several subjects covered. Students can follow a clinical internship. Do they also have the possibility for an internship that focuses more on research?
Yes, of course, and that's obligatory even because it's a research master, and a research internship takes between 6 and 9 months. And students can follow their own interests and can go to a lab of their preference to do their research internship.
Mm-hmm. Can you mention some core courses of the program?
Yeah, the core courses cover the different types of psychopathology, like what I just mentioned, like depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, stress and trauma, happiness. Mm-hmm. Everything that's in the DSM is basically covered.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Pauline knows all about it. Yeah, a current student of this Research Masters program. You've started last year in September with the program. Maybe you can share a little bit about your experience with the programs and why you actually chose for it.
Mm-hmm. So I did my bachelor here as well at Maastricht University. So I already knew a little bit what master programs were given here. And I went to the master's open day and I found out about the research master, and I thought it was really something for me, and especially the psychopathology track was really interesting, so that's how I found out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Done several ways to find out about the program, informing yourself about the website, but also following an event here at the university with an open day. Yeah, as we mentioned, you already follow the program for a couple of months. Mm-hmm. Can you share some experience in terms of courses that you like? Do you have any favorite courses so far?
Yeah, so I like almost all of the courses, and after each course I think like, oh, this one is probably the nicest one. And currently my favorite is the eating disorders course. I think it's really interesting, and what I really liked about the course is that you had a lot of freedom to read about the things you were interested in. And we had some really interesting lectures as well. So that's on my favorite list now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're also one of the lucky ones that actually passed the selection procedure. Mm-hmm. Each year, a selected group of students can start the program track offers 24 spots per year. So students have to undergo some steps to be admitted to the program. Which steps did you take?
Okay, so the first step is actually to apply for the master, and you can do this via StudyLink, which is a Dutch website in which you can apply for masters and bachelors basically. And then you have to upload certain documents, for example your CV and grades and stuff, and then based on those documents you get invited or not to an interview, and this interview can be done either by Skype or in real life, depending on how far you live away from Maastricht. And taken together, then you are accepted or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's best if you are an interested student to take a thorough look at the website. On the program website you will find all the admission requirements that you need to prove, and also the steps you have to take when going through the application procedure. Also take a thorough look when the deadline takes place, so that you make sure that you don't miss anything. Well, you mentioned already the application procedure consists of two parts. A part where you have to submit your application documents, show your portfolio, and the second part is for those who have a good portfolio, namely the selection interview. And as part of the selection committee who guides the interviews, do you have some tips for applicants?
Well, for during the interview, what we are looking for is students who are really enthusiastic about research. And we often ask our candidates to describe their most recent research project and what their role in the research project is. We also like to hear about your future ambitions. We like to hear what you think makes a good researcher, why you think you will be a good researcher. So those are things that we are looking for. Of course, we look at your written materials carefully as well, like your list of grades, your motivation letter, the reference letter that you provided, and then we take into account that whole package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it got clear already that research really plays an important role.
Yes.
In this master.
Yeah, it is a research master, and of course we also prepare for a clinical career, but the program is really research focused and research based. So you need to have a very keen interest in research and preferably some research experience.
Mm-hmm. Students can continue that research experience during their second year of the master program. In the curriculum you've scheduled a research internship. How does that work? How do students find their research internship, and can you mention some examples of locations where they do the internship?
Yeah, we have our own research internship or general internship coordinator, and she organizes a meeting well in advance, and then she gives all the information students need to know, and she can also be approached for further questions. We have a good database of all locations where students have gone previously, and we also advise our students to think about a topic first and then go to our staff members who do research in that field. For example, if you're interested in eating disorders, you can come to me. And most staff members have a really good international network, and they can help you find a location that's of your interest and also a lab that does research that fits your interests.
Mm-hmm.
And that works out pretty well. Students have, for example, gone to University College in London. There's a very good eating disorder group. They do fundamental work using fMRI, but also treatment-related research. People have gone to Vancouver, to Australia, basically all over the world. They have had good experience there.
Mm-hmm. That's what we know from experience, is that quite an amount of students actually goes abroad. They don't stay in the Netherlands, but...
Yeah, most students we have an international cohort, and most students take the opportunity to even go abroad more. And we also encourage that in our students. And of course, you would also have a supervisor from our own program, but you're mainly then supervised by someone from that laboratory.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. Research internships always often open a gate for future career perspectives, and that's one of the questions that we also often receive from future students, namely which career options do graduates have after this master?
It's a research master, so a lot of our graduates end up as a PhD student, and most of them are even hired before they're done. And I also actively distribute PhD positions all over the world that come to my attention. So we really help you on your way of pursuing a research career. But we also have quite an extensive clinical program. So if you have the ambition of becoming a clinician, then you're also in the right place. Or if you want to combine it, and also quite some people want to be a scientist practitioner. So treat patients, but also do research.
Thanks. Pauline, we've looked a lot into the program, the courses that we cover, the research opportunities and career perspectives. But I think for prospective students, it's also interesting to know, how does a day in the life of a current student look like? How does your daily life look like?
Well, I think it's very diverse because, of course, we go to the university and we have courses, but it's very different. Sometimes you have tutorials, sometimes you have lectures, sometimes you have workshops, sometimes you have practicals. So it's really, very diverse. And next to the studies, there's still some room for social activities and sports, of course. So yeah, my week is very diverse. Yeah.
Would you say that there's room for free time activities, or is it fully covered with preparing for classes and following classes?
Yeah, that depends on who you ask, I think. Personally, I have quite some time next to my studies. So, for example, I'm in a volleyball team in an association where I play volleyball. And I'm also in the study association of psychology. So I do quite some things next to my studies. But some people are more focused on their studies, and that's also okay, whatever you prefer.
Yeah. I think what you just described, joining study associations or following sports, is also something really typical to student life in Holland. So for international students, that's something to look forward to prepare to, that the student life is really diverse, and there's also room for spare time activities. But it depends on the person, as you mentioned already.
Yeah.
Another aspect, and then we go back to the program, is that the program prides itself with its small-scale education, having small classes in which you follow courses or tutorial groups. How do you experience that?
That's something I really like. That's actually one of the reasons why I follow this master. Because I'm from a bachelor with 300 students, and now we're only with 18, which is really nice because you really know each other, and we do fun stuff together as well. We have dinners and sometimes a little party. Yeah, so it's really nice, you know who is who and what to expect from each person. So it makes it a lot more personal than a big group.
And I can imagine it also helps to exchange knowledge, preparations for assignments or notes that you took during a lecture. Once you know the other persons better, then it makes it also easier to work with them. Yeah, and it also makes you closer to the professor, because normally there's a professor and you have like 300 people listening, and now it's really closer contact. Yeah, they know you, you know the person. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. Teachers are approachable.
Yes, very approachable. Yeah.
We're almost at the end of the questions that we prepared. If you have any questions left that you would like to forward to the program coordinator, Anne, or our current student, Pauline, then please let us know, and we are happy to answer them. I have one last question that can be answered by both of you, actually, and it's about any misconceptions that might exist. Maybe there were things that you were expecting before starting the program that were new to you while actually doing it, or any misconceptions that you hear from prospective students. Are there any topics that you would like to talk about?
I have nothing that really stands out, actually. But
okay. Maybe Pauline? Yeah, I have something because Maastricht University is always promoting the PBL system. But in our master, we don't really use it that strictly. All the classes are really interactive, but we don't really follow the 7-step approach that much. So that's something that surprised me a little, but it's actually quite nice and I enjoy it. But that's something, that I didn't expect. Yeah.
Something that was new to you.
Yeah. And another thing is that it's super, super international. So I only have one other Dutch person in my year. But I really like it. That, everyone is from other countries, and it really makes a bond because everyone is in the same boat in a different country, most of the people. So
you also learn, like, gaining international experience from other students.
Yes.
We are at the end of the questions that we have prepared so far. As I can see, we didn't receive any comments in the live webinar. But if you have any question left that is unanswered, be sure that we will answer them. The live stream will shut down in a couple of seconds, but we will stay here to answer your questions via the chat. This is also possible. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you to the panel for being here with us, and for the prospective students, we hope that we could have answered all the questions that you had, and we might see you in Maastricht in the next couple of months or years. Bye-bye.